Call this meeting to order. First order of business, roll call.
Alderman Bass.
Here.
Alderman Cleaver.
Here.
Alderman Headley.
Here.
Alderman Knox.
Here.
Alderman Mills.
Here.
Alderman Stratton. Here. There's a quorum.
Next item, we have invocation led by Pastor Jason Williams of Valley Community Church, followed by Pledge of Allegiance led by Alderman Headley.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you for this time tonight. God, the greatest thing that we can do is take time to call upon you, seek you, God, to allow you to be a part of the everyday affairs of our life. So, Lord, we take pause and we invite you, God, into this time tonight where we just pray your blessing upon everything that goes on. God, pray over our leaders of this community, God, make decisions for so many of us. Lord, I just pray that you give them wisdom, guidance, direction, the things that they have to do and decide upon. Lord, I just pray that you would bless everything tonight that goes on. Lord, we thank you for what you're doing. God, we give you praise for it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item, approval of agenda.
No changes, Mayor.
Proclamations, seeing none. Citizens' participation, if anyone would like to address the board, asking to move to the front, please state your name and address and limit your comments to 2 minutes. Seeing none, we'll move on to consent agenda.
Mayor, I move we accept the consent agenda.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Alderman Knox. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please signify by saying nay. Next item, previous business, seeing none. New business, seeing none. Presentations, none. Next item, public hearing.
You want to read it?
Okay, Cool Breeze Consultant Amendment to City's 2014 Comprehensive Future Land Use Map.
I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Trozen.
Thank you. The applicant is Cool Breeze Consultants from Katy, Texas. They are representing RV Retailer LLC from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. RV Retailer Missouri Real Estate LLC is currently under contract with the owner of the property, Blue Springs Safety Storage South LLC, to purchase 11.93 acres. There was a letter from Blue Springs Safety Storage in your packets consenting to allow Cool Breeze Consultants to file the 2 applications that we have the public hearing on tonight. The preferred land use plan that's up on the screen shows the present area that we're referring to as being the preferred land use as being an industrial. As you recall from the preferred land use plan and comprehensive plan, they're basically broken into categories of single family, multifamily, commercial retail, mixed use, and business park. The applicant is requesting that this be changed from industrial to commercial retail. The city's zoning regulations includes a section that addresses the process and review criteria to amend the comprehensive plan future land use map. I'll refer to the exhibit that was provided by the applicant. Let me rotate it around. This is the proposed 12 acres that they want to change in the preferred land use map from industrial to commercial retail. To provide a little orientation, this is Jefferson Street running east and west. This is Pamela Boulevard over here on the left-hand side of the screen. This is Valley Ridge over here on the right-hand side of the screen. This is Lifestyles RV, and the church is right here. These are proposed roads that would be a part of the final plat for East Kansas City Industrial Park 16th plat. As a part of the submission of the proposed land use plan amendment, all map amendments are also required to submit in conjunction a rezoning application. That is the second public hearing that's before you tonight. After an application is filed, the Planning and Zoning Commission conducts a public hearing. They consider 4 factors. In reviewing those 4 factors during the public hearing, the Planning and Zoning Commission established that the application met those 4 factors, and the Planning and Zoning Commission, at that public hearing on October 13th, recommends approval to the Board of Aldermen. Staff also recommends approval to amend the preferred land use map to retail commercial. The applicant is present if you have any questions.
Okay. Any questions? All right, this is a public hearing, so I'll open it up to public. If there anyone might like to make any comments? Seeing none, we'll move on to resolutions.
You gotta close.
We're doing each thing separate, all right. Okay, next item is Cool Breeze Consultant request for change of zoning from M1 to District C2.
Again, I'll turn it over to Mr. Trozen.
So the same applicant has also filed the change in zoning application, Cool Breeze Consultants LLC. They're requesting the change of zoning from District M1 Light Industrial to District C2 General Business. The proposed use of land for the 12 acres is an RV sales and service center. In regards to the 12 acres, just a reference as far as this is the rezoning application that exhibit that was provided. This is Jefferson Street running east and west, Valley Ridge on the right-hand side. Pamela is a little bit off the map here now, but this is Lifestyles RV, the church, and this is the proposed streets in East Kansas City Industrial Park. In the zoning regulations, the definition of automotive sales or rentals includes the sales or rentals of trailers and recreational vehicles, including parking and servicing of vehicles available to sell, rent, or lease. Automotive sales or rentals are a permitted use in District C2 General Business, but not in District M1 Light Industrial. And therefore, that is the requirement for the change in zoning from M1 to C2 to allow the proposed land use of RV Sales and Service Center. In regards to the surrounding zoning in the area, this aerial map will kind of show that the 12 acres will be in this general vicinity here, that they're rezoning from M1 to C2. But you can see to the west, this area here is zone C2. And as you continue along the corridor north of Jefferson Street, that property is also zone C2. As you recall, probably earlier this year, we rezoned some property to the north of here with the continuation of the development of duplexes from the west to the east to R2, and from the single-family development from the west to the east, zoning R1. So in regards to the compatibility of the zoning and land uses in the area, the zoning change would not adversely affect the properties in this general vicinity. The Planning and Zoning Commission held a public hearing on October 13th. The commission voted to recommend approval of the rezoning. Staff also recommends approval of the rezoning.
Any questions? Again, it's a public hearing, so we'll open up to the public. Anyone, any comments? Seeing none, we'll move on to public hearing on the zoning regulation, garages and accessory structures.
And again, I'll turn it over to Mr. Trozen.
Thank you. So in this public hearing, staff is requesting that the Board of Aldermen approve an ordinance that would amend the section pertaining to 400-0 230 to amend to allow the size of detached garages, accessory buildings in the residential zone districts based on the size of the lot. I should probably turn this down because this has nothing to do with it. I apologize. An accessory building is a structure which is on the same parcel of property as a principal structure, and the use of which is incidental to the use of the principal structure. The examples are like detached garages, barns, sheds, playhouses, and private greenhouses. The background in regards to the change of this zoning ordinance request is that in the past, the Board of Zoning Adjustment has granted variances to allow for larger square footages of detached garage and barns. In fact, in April of this year, the Board of Zoning Adjustment granted a variance to allow a 4,800 square foot garage barn on a 3.94 square a lot. The property was zoned R1 single family. On July 31st of 2019, the BZA granted 2 variances for accessory structures on larger lots zoned R1. One for a 1,200 square foot structure on a 1.15 acre lot and a 1,500 square foot structure on a 7.9 acre lot. So working with Sarah Carnes, with our legal staff, we took a look at this section of the ordinance and thought that it would only make sense that as you had larger lots in residential districts, that you would be allowed to have a larger detached accessory structure to accommodate that larger lot. And therefore, we are suggesting that the ordinance be amended based on if you had a lot up to 1 acre, there is no change in the ordinance as far as the size of the square footage allowed. It would stay the same as what it currently is. And that is that the detached garage cannot occupy any more than 30% of the rear yard, and it cannot be more than 1,000 square feet. And then you're also allowed a detached storage building of not more than 250 feet. But if you have a lot that is 1 acre, between 1 acre and 3 acres in a residential single-family district, then you would be allowed to have 2 detached garages or accessory buildings as long as they do not exceed more than 30% of the rear yard, and they can be no larger than 2,400 square feet each. And if you had a lot that's 3 acres or more and zoned single-family residential, then you could all have a structure as long as it does not exceed more than 30% of a rear yard. You could have 2 5,000 square foot structures each and would be allowed those structures. So what we were trying to do is accommodate the citizens that if they do have larger lots, zoned single family, that they would be allowed to have larger accessory buildings. Any questions for either myself or Sarah?
Questions, discussion? Again, this is a public hearing, so I'll open up the public for any comments, questions. Seeing none, now we'll move on to resolutions. First item is Resolution R 21-53, a resolution authorizing the city administrator to spend funds to renew the annual software and hardware maintenance and support agreement with Neptune Technology.
I move that we approve resolution number R2153.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Alderman Headley. Any discussion?
Mayor and members of the board, Neptune is the software that we and hardware that we use for utility billing, for water meters and data collection. And as the title says, this will renew our agreement with them.
Additional questions, comments?
Is that year to year, or what's the term?
Yeah, on this one, it's annual.
Year to year.
No other questions, comments? Call for a vote, please? Or do we, the second?
Just voice vote.
Yep. Vote, please. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please signify by saying nay. Motion carries 6-0. Next item, ordinance B 21-26.
This is an ordinance amending Chapter 600 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Green Valley, Missouri pertaining to alcoholic beverages.
Mayor, I move we accept the second reading of Bill 21-26 and bringing it back as ordinance 2561.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Alderman Cleaver. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Bass,
Yes.
Alderman Cleaver,
Yes.
Alderman Headley,
Yes.
Alderman Knox,
Yes.
Alderman Mills,
Yes.
Alderman Stratton.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Next item, Bill B 21-27.
This is an ordinance approving the final plat of East Kansas City Industrial Park, 16th plat.
I move that we accept the second reading of bill number B 21-27 and approve it as ordinance number 2562.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Alderman Knox. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Bass,
Yes.
Alderman Cleaver,
Yes.
Alderman Headley,
Yes.
Alderman Knox,
Yes.
Alderman Stratton,
Yes.
and then Alderman Mills is abstaining, still correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, would you like to state your?
Yes, I'll be abstaining from B 2127, B 2128, and B 2129.
Okay, thank you. Motion carries 5-0. Next item, Bill B 21-28.
This is an ordinance to amend the future land use map in the 2014 Comprehensive Plan.
Mayor, I move that we accept Bill B 2128 for its first read and bring it back for second reading at our next scheduled meeting.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Alderman Headley. Any discussion?
Mayor, members of the board, this was the ordinance that's tied to the first public hearing tonight that Mr. Trozen went over that would be changing the comprehensive future land use map.
Any further discussion, questions? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please signify by saying nay. Motion carries 5-0. Next item, Bill B 21-29.
This is an ordinance changing the zoning on 11.93 acres from District M1 Light Industrial to District C2 General Business.
Mayor, I move that we accept the first reading of bill number B 21-29 and bring it back for its second reading by title only at our next regular session.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Alderman Knox. Any discussion?
Mayor, members of the board, this would have been the ordinance tied to the second public hearing that would change the zoning of that 11.93 acre parcel.
Further discussion, questions? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please signify by saying nay. Motion carries 5-0. Next item, Bill B 21-30.
This is an ordinance amending Chapter 400 zoning regulations of the Code of Ordinances in Section 400-230 accessory structures.
Mayor, I move that we accept the first reading of bill number B 21-30 and bring it back for its second reading by title only at our next regular session.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Alderman Mills. Any discussion?
Mayor, members of the board, this was the third public hearing, so this is the ordinance tied to changing the allowable size of accessory structures and larger single-family lots.
Any further discussion, questions? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please signify by saying nay. Motion carries 6-0. Next item, Bill 21-31.
This is an ordinance calling an election in the city of Grain Valley, Missouri on April 5th, 2022.
Mayor, I move we accept the first reading of Bill 21-31 and bring it back for its second reading by title only.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Alderman Bass. Any discussion?
Mayor and members of the board, this ordinance will fulfill the notice requirement of the upcoming general election for Grain Valley that will be on April 5th. One difference this year is the filing dates. It'll start Tuesday, December 7th at 8:00 a.m. and will run until December 28th at 5 p.m. This is a change from past years where it was into January.
Additional questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, please signify by saying nay. Motion carries 6-0. Next item, city attorney's report.
Nothing tonight, Mayor, thank you.
Next item, city administrator and staff reports.
You had a written report from community development, and then Mr. Davies has a report.
Mayor and board, back on October 29th, we had our annual trailer treat event. We had a few more challenges this year than what we've had in years past. Leading up to that Friday, we encountered quite a bit of rain all day Wednesday, all day Thursday, and into Friday. So we had to make some last-minute adjustments because those are the days that we use to set up the scenes and the activities along the trail loop. And with the ground just being so saturated, we ended up actually moving a lot of the activities and the vendors on R.D. Mize Road. We were able to close down R.D. Mize Road between Owida Drive and Long Drive. And it actually turned out really well. I believe we had upwards of 3,000 people come out for the event. Close to 40 different vendors, local organizations came out and set up booths, tables along R.D. Mize Road for the event. Parking was going to be an issue because we normally use the grassed areas around the trail. But with tear on the grounds, worry of vehicles getting stuck, we were able to use some of the surrounding parking lots. A big help was Owida's parking lot. We wouldn't have been able to do it without that one. So people had a suitable surface to park on. Goes out to Trailside RV as well, letting people park there as well. But overall, a little windy and a little cool, but we feel it's a really successful event. We were still able to utilize the trail. That's where we had the hayride for the attendees. So just wanted to provide a report on that.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I just want to thank all of the staff and volunteers that helped. It's one of the events that takes every department, police, parks, public works, VIPs, and yeah, pretty much everybody around just to make it happen. And obviously there were some challenges this year, but as always, they found a way to make it happen, and it was a good community event. There's no more reports.
Next item, Board of Aldermen reports and comments. Alderman Bass,
Nothing at this time.
Alderman Claver,
Nothing at this time.
Alderman Headley,
Nothing at this time, Mayor.
Alderman Knox,
Nothing at this time.
Alderman Mills,
Nothing at this time.
Alderman stratton.
Nothing at this time, thank you.
Mayor's report. I would just like to commend the whole city staff for the short notice on getting those changes and getting that set up for everybody. You did an excellent job, and I think everybody really enjoyed it. And that is all I have. There's no need for executive session. That being said, being adjourned.